Mark, Shea was just saying to me on the floor after that you guys kind of played to your standard for a good portion of the game, but not all of it. You seem like there's major opportunities for learning and growth coming out of this. Just maybe your perspective on that perspective and the way that your team managed to get the car back on the road, as you say, in this one.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't a 48-minute team tonight, but I never take for granted what the effort it takes and the concentration to win an NBA game. I thought we started the game really well. I thought we started the second half with the right intent. And then that group in the fourth, when they cut it to 4, that kind of staved that off. That group wasn't great in the first half, and I thought they did a much better job in that part of the game. So there were some positives, and overall on the trip, I thought there were a lot of positives. We took a step forward. We're better now than we were when we left home, and that's the goal when you leave for a 8-day road trip.
Mark, what did you see in those 2 middle quarters, specifically, I guess more specifically thinking on the turnovers?
I mean, we just weren't as sharp as we can be, and at the end of the day, it's a long season. It's an 82-game season. It's a 48-minute game. You're not going to live, in a thriving state all the time, and the important thing is recognizing when you're not there, getting yourself back there as fast as possible, course correcting. That's been a strength of the team. We're not perfect, but we do a good job of recognizing when we're not perfect, and then getting back above the bar.
It's hard to overreact to anything because you guys have lost 6 times all year. But when Shea comes off the floor, you just mentioned that lineup. I guess, what have you seen when he comes off the floor, and then what does it take for that lineup to maybe not dig itself in a hole that it has to kind of come back from?
Well, we've outplayed our opponents in those lineups, mainly because of the defense. But I was complimenting them for their job in the fourth. I thought they opened the game back up, and they brought a defensive disposition in the fourth quarter that kind of separated us in that game. It wasn't great in the first half, but I mean, we're more focused on the standard that we play to collectively. It's not when Shea's on or Shea's off or specific to a lineup. And the team's done a great job all season of playing, up to that. And like I said, when we're not at that bar, getting to it, in game, course correcting it in game.
Mark, more generally than just tonight, but Shea is really good going to his left for a right-handed player, and he really likes going to his left. Seems to do it more than going to his right. What makes him so, I guess, confident going left as a right-handed player as often as he does?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. He could answer that a lot more accurately. He can go both ways. He's got solutions going both ways. He does gather the ball in his left hand quite a bit. He's got a lot of stuff off of that, but he can do it going right too. Teams try to directionally send him right from time to time, and he handles it well. He's got solutions to about everything at this point, but he's just really skilled. You're not that good. He's the top of the scouting report every night, and yet he's able to get places on the floor and still find his stuff at a very efficient level. And so, you have to have a lot in the toolbox in order to do that.
Is it about getting to that step back for him when he goes left, or?
He drives it left quite a bit. He had that going in the start of the third. But yeah, I mean, he can do that going left or right. I mean, he's hit game winners going left and right that way. So I really, like I said, he works on the whole package. In terms of his comfort going there, you'd have to ask him. But I just see him as a player that just doesn't have a lot of holes. You try to do X, and he's got a solution. He's just developed. That's what happens when you're in as many situations as he's been in. You just develop the solutions to the different things that get thrown at you, and he's obviously done that really well.
Mark, another 3-steal game for J-Dub. I mean, those are the visible, tangible aspects of his defense, but what are some of the invisible parts that you talk about that maybe we should be watching for when we watch J-Dub defensively?
I mean, a lot of those on-ball ones, it starts with catching the initial drive, chesting the initial drive, and then it makes the ball handler stationary, and now they have to kind of wiggle away from him, without any sort of forward momentum. So I think there's the invisible thing is his ability to kind of catch those plays and catch the point of attack, and now you've got kind of a static player that's trying to use their handle to shake you free, and he's got great length and tenacity and all those things.
Is that catching, is that footwork playing with his chest? Like, what goes into that?
Yeah, both anticipation. Kenrich Williams had a good one tonight. It's a huge fundamental in the NBA, especially with how dynamic the offensive players are. Every player on the court, can kind of shoot, pass, and drive these days. So you got to be able to really catch those guys. Kaysen is obviously great at it. Dort, we've got some guys that can counter that skill with the individual D.
Speaking of Kaysen, he has 11 in that form for a few assists. Just what did you see from him then, and I guess what have you seen from him as far as those parts of the game where you probably have to buckle down?
Yeah, he's got some traction right now. He's strung together a really good stretch of offense. He's been great defensively all season, but strung a nice stretch of offense. The shooting's come around, and he's finishing some tough plays, in a fluid manner. Finding those cuts, that's still part of his game. Last couple games, he's gotten like 1 or 2 layups a game. He got a couple tonight. Just kind of sneak along the baseline. So he's done a great job, and he was huge in that stretch, to start the fourth and into the fourth quarter. He was a huge part of, closing that game down.
How would you assess Alex's first game back?
He was great. It was good to have him out there. Obviously, a little out of rhythm, and out of rhythm with the team. We've kind of on this road trip, especially, we've kind of had a bare bones roster and have played the same group of guys. And now you're adding something to that, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It forces the team to adapt, but it does take some adaptation. So, but it was good to have him back. He's just such a great presence on the court and off. And like I said, he worked hard to get himself back to this point. So happy that he's back out there playing and competing. That's what he wants to do.
Anybody else? Coach.
All right, thanks.